Alrighty, so I didn't have my morning class today, so I slept in because I was up a little bit late last night. I'm trying to move all these wooden boxes that I made, and I just think I gotta do it during the day sometime because I'm making a lot of noise, and so I'm doing them one at a time when I think I should just be like getting the whole bag and just like tossing them on the ground and then like almost like Lego styles put them together, so I think that's what I gotta do because what I'm doing right now is just, it's not working. I just spent like almost 2 hours moving stuff last night and I'm like not even halfway done, so I'm gonna try to move more of them tonight. We'll see how it goes, but now I just have my open studio, no one's here, so I'm gonna unload a kiln and I gotta sand the bottom of a lot of these cups that I'm gonna be giving away. So like, be like sanding the bottoms of these things so they're nice and smooth. They don't have to be buttery smooth. They just gotta be smooth enough they ain't gonna be scratching people's tables and stuff. Yeah, I think my kids' class is gonna be weird today because I think today is their last day, but I don't think they really got anything to... Oh wait, they do have stuff here. I didn't even look. Look at that. Well, they do got some stuff, so actually I will be... Look, I don't know if you saw the... Look at this. It's like a turkey dinner for a turkey. These look great, actually. Wow. This person's really good at doing her stuff, Little butter bell. Nice. Look at that. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Sorry about that. Sometimes that ceramic stuff just takes your eyes. It just stole my vision. These are some of the goblets from a couple weeks ago, so that's kind of cool. Maybe there's more of them floating around, but we'll see. I don't think so, but that's alright. They're probably in the kiln right now, last firing. So that's about it, y'all. I think today is just gonna be a day where I'm gonna figure out some stuff to do and then get some stuff prepped and ready to give my cups away, and then when I get home tonight I'm gonna be moving more of those wooden boxes. I just want to start setting up everything. Like as winter's coming, I'm gonna start going to the gym again, so I want to what's it called? I want to get everything like pristine before I start going to the gym, so that I don't have to think about it while I'm at the gym, or I don't have to do stuff. I don't have to complicate my schedule more, because this next upcoming winter term is where I'm teaching at all these different places, and it's going to be quite a lot, so I got to make sure I'm streamlining my process as much as possible here. So alright, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye bye. Alrighty, so here's the cups. These are kind of like the iterations, and then these are like the final ones, right? Like I have a lot of like really, oh man, I wish I could, there we go, a lot of like really nice looking cups here, like even got some with like these flowers on them. Again, you can't really see it. Now you can. I got even some with like these cool little like wispy things on the sides of them, and just a lot of really, you guys have seen this one before. Some really kick-ass mugs, and cups. So those are the final iterations, and so maybe I'll talk a little bit about how I arrived to those, right? Well, first I was just testing glazes, right? And I made a couple this was just white. At one point now it has like a tinge of green. I don't know if you could really getting picked up on the screen here, but I did some white ones and then some with like nothing sprayed on them. And then I was thinking about it. I was just like, you know what? done the spraying thing before, right? Like on this one, you can see that's where I was spraying on this side here. And so I was like, you know what? I gotta do some more of the spray. And then I went over and I started doing them on these ones, and that's how it's really just this black glaze, but when you see it on the top, it almost goes like this bluish color, right? And even some green and some spots, right? And so I started developing those forms, and I was like, but there's only one problem with these, and I thought that the bottoms kind of looked like it didn't match the form very well. Like it just is kind of like, oh, cool, 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 cool. What the heck? And so then I was like, well, you know, maybe I make some, and I made a bunch that were trimmed, and they're totally in a different realm of like pottery. Like these speak a lot more like just typical pottery vocabulary, right? And I'm not too into them. Sometimes they have some cool spirals into them. They're pretty light. This one doesn't have any glaze on the outside. I kind of thought it was sort of cool looking, but then I had the thought, I was like, alright, well, I need to do something with the bottoms, right? And that's when I decided I was going to just make the bottoms black, right? So now I have these like really dark objects, and when you flip them over, the vocabulary of the bottom is still relating back to the form. And so I think that these pots were just like some freaking mad animals. You can see some of them when I was sanding them, I had it like picked up the, I don't know if you can even actually see some of the white spots there. That's just because it's fluxing to the surface, and somebody set them on some unkiln washed cookies, so they got stuck to them just a tad, you know, but it's still, they looked pretty okay. Nothing too bad. You know, I got some cool, really got some cool moments on these cups here, so I'm just happy that, you know, people are gonna get some of these cups, and like these are like the fully realized, right? These ones are also a little bit heavier, right? And it was this flange, it added too much weight. So then what I started doing is I started like cutting down the flange with just like a rib, just running it up against it rather than trimming. I just ran it up against it, and it got that weight down just enough where they feel like really balanced, where some of these have a little bit more, some oomph on the bottom. Some of these are also just thicker cups, and that's a difference, right? There's a difference between the bottoms being too thick and then the whole object just being a heavier object, right? And so some of them are like teetering on that line. But yeah, so just showing you guys some of these cups. These ones I'm gonna let all the little kids pick from like this grouping, just because I want my night class to, you know, they're a little bit more advanced. I think they'd appreciate these cups very, very well, you know. So I'll put these ones away, and then I'll let them choose tonight. And then obviously my Sunday class also gets to pick from all of them. So, but yeah, all right, y'all. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, that was the last of my kid class. You know, they were so sweet. One of them even got me a little gift card to a coffee shop, a little thank you thing. That's kind of cool. They drew all over my hands, so now my hands are full of colors. I feel like for me, it's like if they're having a good time, like I don't mind. I get dirty anyway, so like them coloring on my skin doesn't really bother me, right? And if they like, I just thought it'd be kind of cool if like there was a teacher who sort of like fostered some level of creativity, you know. Maybe one of them will be a tattoo artist one day. You never really know. So I always think that's good if I can be the catalyst for maybe like a cool moment for their future, like by supporting them in the present on whatever they sort of want to do, you know. So, and if I don't think it's like, if it's not really that big of a deal, like coloring on me, I don't care, and you know, it's all good. As long as they're just not like coloring on each other, you know, that would be like a problem. And they're pretty good about that sort of stuff. But they had a coloring contest, and today they kept giving me like these these like wooden poles, and they kept telling me to be an old man. So I kept being an old man, and they kept taking my walking stick, and that was kind of fun. They chased me around, and they were laughing a lot, so I think they enjoyed that. And then they did a drawing contest, and this one girl, she won like all the times, and I was like, what? I wanted to win, but it's okay. Whenever I was drawing my dragons, I was laughing. They were like, I was drawing my dragons, and then all of a sudden they would, what's the word? They'd color all over my drag. They're like, all right, I think Mr. Noah needs detail. And then like scribble. I can even show you one of them. I was like drawing this dragon, and you can't even see it. That's how much I scribbled on it. And I was drawing it, and they just said, all right, it needs detail. And then they just did all of that. So I thought it was pretty funny. But thanks. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace out. Alrighty, so I just got done with my last class here. And you know, it's just kind of everybody's finishing up stuff, so it's just pretty chill. But I wanted to show you guys some of the things that the kids, they made me. One of them, they got me like a gift card to a coffee shop, which is really sweet of them. And then they also did some drawings for me. So I just love this one because pottery. It's just so they color. That's them coloring on my hands. I don't know why they did that. They just wanted to. But yeah, look at that. Mr. Noah, thank you for being my pottery teacher. Then there's this one dragon called Marsh. And then this is another dragon, Winter Moonlight. So it's kind of cool. They like dragons a lot. So they'd be asking me, Mr. Noah, can you make a dragon? And I say, yes, I will make a dragon. But it was fun. I enjoy hanging out with them. And then my class, right, I loaded a kiln. I had a lot of this kiln that I unloaded today. It was a kiln killer kiln. A lot of pots just glazed all over the shelves. So I'm firing at cone 5 this time. And I'm going to just do a 10-minute hold at the peak temp. And I'm going to hope that it is just perfect for... I also want to make sure the blower's on back here. Yeah, okay. But I just want to make sure that the... what's it called? The glaze, there's no like, sometimes if you go a little bit under, you can get some weird pinholing. And so I'm just going to try to hold it for, 10 minutes. And so hopefully they don't like totally run off the shelf. But like what they did this time at the cone 6 temp. But I can still get the glaze matured, right? I don't want to under fire them. And I don't think they will at cone 5. I still think that's not going to be under fired, but I just want to make sure. So that's my plan with those. And I'm going to go home and I'm going to just throw the 3 pots right when I get home. And then I'm going to try to move some more of those boxes tonight. So that's kind of my plan. And I'll cut to me now taking all those pots. Wait, what am I doing? I'm going to cut to me taking the pots. What? I got to take my pots back, so I can't record while I'm walking, so I'm going to cut to me throwing the new pots. Sometimes my brain works faster than my mouth does. Alright, I'll see you guys around. Peace. So, see, I'm gonna be quiet, but I feel like I'm starting to understand something about clay, which is really gonna help me out, right? I'll tell you my thought process. So, there was a, what do you call it, a video of a guy who let's just say like I respect his pottery, right? And I was watching him. There's this other dude who was just visiting his friend's studio, the videos that I watch of that guy, right? And his friend was visiting him and just teaching him some new techniques with pottery. And, I was listening to him talk about pottery, and he was saying like a lot of potters, they don't understand the difference between like a lengthening pole and a compression pole, right? And during the course of me throwing here today with you guys, I feel like I'm starting to understand more about the thing that they mean when they say like, what's the word? Compression, right, with the ceramics. And so I was just thinking to myself, alright, like, I felt something different with this recent poles that I've been making on these pots. And I'm just thinking there, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe that's what he means. Like, I've been throwing so often that I'm starting to really get in tune with my body as it's working on the wheel here. And so when something different happens, like, I can really feel that, right? It's like I feel the clay. You know, like when you're driving your car and you can sort of guess your brakes because you're familiar with it, right? Or like if you need to make a quick turn, you'll be able to like feel the wheels gripping the asphalt, right? You'll feel the car almost through your own body, right? In some way, like, you know, in video games, when you get in a vehicle, you like, your camera's positioned from the vehicle, right? I think it's that same thing, but with pottery, right? And so I felt something different with some of these more recent polls. And I'm starting to get the feeling that that's what that guy was meaning when he was saying compression is so important, right? This clay is a little bit softer. As you can see, it's really flowing, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, well, that's like, to me that means I'm going to not get the height that I would normally want to get on a pot, right? But if I can figure out this idea of compression poles, on these last pots I've been getting kind of a good height, more than what I would normally get from some clay like this, right? Because it's just so soft, I get too thin too quick. And here's the other thing. So normally I would go from this side and try to already get some of this clay up. But that guy was telling me, just cup your finger around here, push from the interior, and just do like a cupping pole, right? And I was thinking like, what? So look at that, right? The whole inside and like outside that whole pole, like made it so the wall thickness is all really even. So it makes it really easy to do this next pole, right? And so this pole right here is what I mean is a compression. It's almost like I feel like I'm pushing down as I'm going up. Like right there, like you didn't see, I still got a little bit of height, right? But you didn't see that circle, that stretching circle to pull it up, right? You didn't see that as much on there, right? And so that pole to me, right now, if I go to make this second pole, I'll tell you guys exactly what I'm feeling. I gotta make this second pole now, where normally I gotta, like, I'm already pretty nervous. All of a sudden, the clay feels like it's denser, like it actually feels like it's thicker in that area, so I can put a lot more force in these holes at the top here. Right? Like, and you can see, like, it's moved a little bit off center, but it's more towards the middle. That bottom section now is just so, like, sturdy. Like, it feels like it's not gonna, I can put a lot of torque on this top without it moving, right? Like, it really feels different. I think I'll do one more compression pull here. Again, I'm at the bottom, right? And here we go, compress, compress, compress. And how I'm imagining it is like, it's almost like I have a rib on the inside. My finger is a rib on the interior of the pot. And like I'm feeling this clay and it just feels like a brick. Also, I gotta make sure that in the video the guy was also like, you want to keep some thickness on that top rim. I lost it here, so it's a little bit wobbly. So that's something too that I'm gonna keep in mind for the next pause. So, and again, here we go for pull. I was like combining a couple poles on this pot, right? Like I knew I was sitting on the top, so instead of pulling the top, I did a compression on the top. I think I can get another pull out of this. Let's see, maybe we're taking it too far. We'll see though. It didn't feel that great. I feel like if I'm thinking about the pull earlier and the pull now, the pull earlier is totally complete, where the pull right now is kind of, it feels lost. Almost like it's drifting. I see. Right. Like it still knows where it's going by stars and like the wind. Right, but it didn't catch the right current. Right? I just gotta catch that current. But it's okay. That feels good. Go. Next. Next. Alright. Bring that up. And so you see how I'm kind of taking that around there and bring it back up. So I'm hoping it's going to twist lower. What the heck is this? This is crazy. So when I'm looking at it, I got two variations of tree form, like the body switching midway through. I haven't seen one of these ones before. So that's pretty exciting here. I don't think I'll be able to replicate these ones often, like some of the other pods. You know, the pole at the end there was left adrift, right? But you think about it, those poles, it had to be just thin enough there to like want to collapse underneath of it, right? So the inconsistencies of my pole earlier are the only things that would allow for these forms to exist, right? And I think that's like the cool part, is that your pots that you're making, they're like changing as you're unconsciously doing things, right? And so we try everything in our power to hide those things, right? We'll take a trimming tool and trim it all off, right? We'll take a rib and we'll smooth it out. We'll get rid of the things rather than trying to heighten those things, right? So it's kind of exciting when I'm looking at this one. I'm thinking that I gotta do the middle part here, right? So watch. Cut. 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 There we go. I'll take these. Spin them up. These pods here. Getting pretty mushy on this bottom. I think there's a nice loudness to these ones. It looks like it's something that's like sticking out of the grass.